Hi, fourth graders. It's Mrs. Ward Hill. I'm just going to try to move this out of the way. Okay, we are looking at the whole story through many lenses today. So, today I want to teach you that great readers who are trying to read interpretively pay attention to whatever sticks out. But then they think, how might this part fit with other parts? To do that thinking, they think across the whole book. Not sure where to put myself. All right, readers, last night I was looking over, thinking about the Tiger Rising, and um, I was going to do the same work that you're doing in your own books. And something interesting happened. I came to a passage that stuck out to me. I'll read it to you, okay? And we're going to think along together. He remembered that his mother had taken hold of his hand and pointed up at the sun shining through the leaves of the tree and said, "Look, Rob, I have never in my life seen a prettier color of green. Ain't it perfect?" "Yes, ma'am," he said, staring at the leaves. "It looks like the original green, the first one God ever thought up." His mother squeezed his hand hard. "That's right," she said. "The first one God ever thought up. The first ever green. You and me, we see the world the same." So this passage caught my attention. It was one of those ding dong moments that we've talked about. What sticks out most to me about this scene is the feeling. It feels so happy. Remember how we discussed mood as the feeling or tone of a place or a person in other mini lessons? Rob has been mostly gloomy and lonely, but here he is filled with happiness. So today, let's do what readers do and ask ourselves, how might this part fit with other parts that we've noticed? So I expect that this part will fit with other parts of the story because I know that authors return to important things in a story. But how to find a part that connects? I need to reread and think. What's the big idea about this? So, how does this scene connect with the green leaves scene? Let's check this one. Sistine said, "Stop shrugging your shoulders at me. I hate it. I hate the way you shrug all the time." And that made Rob remember Willie Mae saying that when he shrugged, he looked like a skinny bird trying to fly. It struck him as funny now. He laughed out loud at the thought of it. And without asking him what he was laughing about, without dropping his hand, without stopping, Sistine laughed too. Then Rob remembered the name of the feeling that was pushing up inside him, filling him full to overflowing. It was happiness. That was what it was called. So you may have noticed that in both parts, Rob is happy when he's holding someone's hand. He held his mother's hand and talked about the color green. He held Sistine's hand and laughed, and she didn't ask why he was laughing, but instead she laughed too. So I'm starting to realize something. I'm starting to realize that in both parts, Rob is happy when he is with somebody who understands him. And then I want to ask myself, what might be the life lesson? So, life lesson, it's lonely when you feel misunderstood, or having someone who gets you makes life happier. Those are my two pullouts of life lessons. So, we're going to pause here for today, and you are going to be um, freshening up your sticky notes and thinking about the whole story, looking through those many lenses of characters, setting, important objects, the plot, the mood, feelings, and parts that connect to each other. So, looking at how these parts connect to each other. All right, happy reading. Now we're moving into part two. So, we are looking at the whole story through many lenses, part two. So, just to recap what we've been doing during this unit. So, how to build an interpretation. So, it's all about characters, and we had our main focus on characters earlier in this unit. But we started out with read intensely. We also learned about use patterns in the character's actions to form ideas. We've also thought about why might the character act this way or act like this. We also thought about pay attention to a character's desires and how they are achieved. Remember the obstacles that get in the way. We also want to notice anything about a character that the author repeats, and we want to ask ourselves, why? Why is this being repeated? What is so important? We also think about characters are complicated. Context, relationships, outside, inside. Remember thinking about how the character acts in one setting versus another setting, or how they, project themselves to others, but then deep inside how they are to themselves. To the green, what we've been doing today is read, thinking about many aspects of the book. We want to ask early in the story, what is this story about? We want to be alert to phrases in the text that seem extra important. And we want to connect different parts of the book and think across the whole book. And then finally, connect ideas you've had about the book. So we're working on making those connections. Here we go. Oh, those are the key ones that we're focusing on during this. What is the story about? Be alert. Ding, 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 right? A big idea, a bigger theme, ding, ding, ding. So thinking about the different parts of the book and connecting it to the whole book. All right, so just to recap from yesterday, I noticed that in both parts, Rob is happy when he is holding someone's hand. He held his mother's hand and talked about the color green. He held Sistine's hand and laughed, and she didn't ask why he was laughing, but instead she laughed too. So I'm thinking about these two different sections. That's what you're going to be doing, or perhaps you did that yesterday, thinking about the two different sections and how they connect. And then you're going to be writing out, I'm starting to realize. What are you starting to realize? How are these connected? I said, Rob is happy when he's with somebody who understands him. And then I asked myself, what's the big life lesson? My life lesson is it's lonely when you feel misunderstood. Or it could be having someone who gets you makes life happier, right? He's happier when he's with his mom, or when he was with his mom, and he's happier when he's with Sistine. Here are some student examples. I think Maria Isabel, I think Maria Isabel wearing the yellow dress again is really important because it shows her connection to her culture and her grandmother and to herself. So that is one student's perhaps sticky note that they pulled out. I think ripping up those pictures is important because it shows Journey finally seeing that his mother returning won't make his family complete. His family is complete with his grandfather, grandmother, cat, and him. Right? So looking at the sticky notes, this student has been able to pull out what they think probably those reoccurring objects or the pictures and how the character has learned something. So then what you're doing today is asking yourself, how might this part fit with other parts? And what might be the life lesson? So you'll be writing that out today. Happy reading and writing. Bye. I don't know how to stop this. I still don't know how to stop this.